What is going on, everybody? It is time for our next week of recruiting. It's going to be a busy week for us because we have some decisions to make on some of these higher overall players. So we're looking at the first guy on this board is Tyler Longo. He is that corner. He's 6'2". He looks like we're gaining pretty well on him. We're only using 10 points currently. Gained 2 ticks of influence. We already offered our scholarship. We do not have a pipeline on him, but right now it does not seem to matter so much. We only gave him 10 points last time, but he's interested in playing style and proximity to home, so that should be beautiful for us. And he's got, 85 speed, 87 excel. He's got the Legion mental, which is nice to be able to give a boost to the rest of the DBs, but not the fastest guy in the world, so might not be fantastic long term, but definitely an upgrade from what we currently have on our roster, as he's the 8th ranked player in the state. So I think we're going to continue to recruit him, but I don't want to give too many points, but I still would like to get him locked up. Luckily, we're already pretty much in our top 8 at this point. We're just inching along towards the top 5. Trevor Thomas, that next player we're looking at, athlete, looks like he's going to be a quarterback if I remember correctly. We are 3rd currently in him. Looks like we're not quite gaining as much as we need to be able to overtake him, so to speak, but we should be able to stay in the battle. We gave him 40 points last time. We are in the top 5, so we can schedule a visit now, which is something interesting, so I might see about doing that. But he's got 90 speed and 90 throw power, and he has some good mental abilities. He's got that road dog ability, the natural. I like who he is as a 3-star prospect. I feel like he could be solid for us. Our problem is, if you see on that right bottom corner of the screen, he doesn't like anything so far that we've got going on for us. So it's going to be a little hard to sell him because I really, at this point, don't know what he wants. So because, yeah, we're at the point I could sell, I could hard sell, I'm not really sure where I want to go here with this. I think I'm going to have to remove this action either way, and we're going to have to make a decision about him. But we do have another, what I want to look at first is we have another quarterback on this board. We have a couple other quarterbacks on this board. So right now, that was Trevor Thomas, but Stephen Britt is a 4-star quarterback, and I really feel like we're gaining the most right now. Like, we are outgaining Mississippi State, and that's a huge thing because he's the 5th ranked in his position in the entire high school right now. So this could be fantastic for us if we were able to steal him. So, like, looking at his points, I mean, I have 2 of his interests: athletic facilities and championship contender, so I imagine it's going to be probably, it's not brand exposure, so I'm not sure what it's going to be. Maybe playing time, conference prestige, something along those lines for his last one. So, but he's got 91 speed, 91 throw power. He has road dog and clear headed, which I feel like are two of the most solid mental abilities you could have. So I really, really like that for him. I feel like he is the number 1 quarterback I want, and Trevor Thomas would be our 2nd option for QB, and I feel like it's reasonable to get him currently, considering Trevor Thomas I'm going to have to unload a lot on, and I might not even be able to do much because he's really not interested in anything that we have to offer currently on him. So I think we're going to continue to have Stephen Britt as our number 1 QB option at this point. I think it's another send the house to him at this current time, since it doesn't look like we're even going to get into the top 5 probably next week. I mean, maybe Mississippi State gets him there, but I wouldn't count on it. But I like our odds here with the interests that he has. I mean, it's kind of a D and a D minus, so we're not great at what he's interested in, but we at least know what it is. So other than that, I don't know. I feel like we're going to continue to throw points here at Stephen Britt as our number 1. But that is true. I mean, we're only sending 25 points towards Trevor Thomas. If we were sending 50, we'd probably be winning by quite a bit. Looking at some of these other quarterbacks we have Willie Maher. He's got winning time in the natural, decent speed, throw power. Their accuracy stats are not terrible. Also do not know at all what he's interested in. And nobody's really gaining or anything right now, so I don't feel the need to go crazy on him. Kind of same with Avery Tongues. I mean, just he looks like he could also be a pretty solid 3-star quarterback. His accuracy stats are a little bit lower, which is why we're not going after him at this current time. And Orleans Redmond, we haven't really even looked at yet. Kind of one of those lower overall guys on the board. Again, nobody has really been even looking at him, so we're just going to kind of let him sit for a little bit and see where these two go. So we'll come back to Trevor Thomas because we're probably going to have to change something about him, but we have some higher prospects on the board first. Jabari Thrash, one of those guys, he's a bust. Would still probably be a good player for the team with 88 speed. He's got the downhill, arm bar, and balance. I mean, that sounds amazing for a power back. Don't really know what he's interested in at this point, but also nobody's really going after him too hard. We're throwing some points, though, into Juan Kindred. And I think at this point it's probably worth us just finishing the scouting on him. 100%. Looks like 89 speed, 90 excel. Got some good mental abilities, and he's got the balance and the arm bar. But he is an actual consistent 4-star, which is solid. Again, I don't know if the 15 is really doing much for him, so we'll probably end up taking that off of him since we're not even close on his board. So I think we're going to remove these actions, get some of our time back. If he was a gem or something crazy with that last scout, then I probably would have been a little bit more aggressive with him. Travis Penny and D'Angelo Denbo. The problem is here we have to be really, really stingy with the points that we have since we're such a low school. I just don't have the points to be able to throw around and scout all of these guys and go hard after everybody. Because if I spread myself too thin, I'm just not going to be able to acquire the talent that we want to bring in. So same thing here. We're probably going to lose this Colin Hack. Just don't really have the points to scout them at this point. Wide receivers not it is a need for sure, but it's not the most pressing need, I'd say. Very, very interested though in this David Matlock. I feel like it would be nice to be able to go a little bit more aggressive after him. I think I'm going to finish the scouting just to see. He's got road dog at least. But I mean, 87 speed and 88 excel for a 6'4 tight end would be pretty nice. It'd be, quite nice. Don't super know what he's interested in, but we did offer a scholarship, so we might be able to come back to him to give him a little bit more points. Evan Stewart also not really gaining much of anything at this point. Now we get to the big dogs. The offensive line is who we really are contemplating going after on a regular basis right now. And right now, it's Picasso Ruggs. He is the #1 right tackle in the entire nation right now. And I feel like we're gaining okay. I think Arkansas is still beating us a little bit at this point, but they also don't have a pipeline either. So it doesn't put them that much ahead of us. And we do have a check mark for proximity to home, and we have an A- in that category. So I'd say one more week we'll get to the top 5. We'll break into his top 5 and we'll be able to schedule a visit on him, and he's one person we're going to for sure want to visit immediately with him because he looks nice. I really like the quick drop ability, the clear-headed, and the road dog. He's going to be a consistently good player for us for a long time, and 71 speed is not slow for a lineman. I mean, 71 speed's not bad. It's better than in the 60s, but it's not bad. It's above average, but he's got some really good blocking stats to start out. I mean, pretty much all in the 80s at this point. So I like it. Definitely going to continue to be pretty much our #1 prospect on the board at this point. But TJ Moses is that other guy. If we could lock down the #1 and #2 prospects, both right tackles, move one over to left. Oh, this would be amazing for our offensive line. Scouted him completely, and he's got some really, really, really nice abilities. He's got the 92 strength and 91 impact blocking. This guy looks a little bit better than Picasso, I would say. And he's, interested in proximity to home, so that's good. We're good at that, and we're winning by quite a bit considerably. So we're going to continue to send the house and just go super hard for these two. Ideally, we lock out both of them because this would be amazing. Next, we go look at our guards. We have Sinilau, however we pronounce that one, from Hawaii. So, but We did offer a scholarship. It looks like he has some A+ playing time, which would be good. I like his stats. I really do. He doesn't have any abilities, but he has really, really good mentals. And so I'm half considering if I should just start going hard after him or not, but it might be a little bit too late for us to be able to get that since we're going hard for 3 people already, which is 150 of our points. I feel like the door is still open. If we were to go hard by sending the house, I feel like we might be able to hop back into his so far. I mean, we don't technically know what his motivation is, but his deal breaker is playing time, so we know that that's got to be one of them. So we'll come back to him too, I think. Same for over here, Damian Torre. I think we might be a little bit too late to the party. We just don't have enough points, I feel like, to get into the party with him. So I think I'll just kind of leave him there for just in case, but I think most likely he's going to be done. Same here, Moses Lawrence eliminated us from our contention, so we'll just remove him from the board now. Looking at, I guess I might as well just remove this guy from the board too. Looking at centers now, I mean, proximity to home is what he's very interested in for sure. And he is from Georgia, so that's right where we are. So I think he's also one of those ones that we could probably jump in here, send a lot of points, and maybe get something decent for him. So maybe we want to scout him. I feel like if we're going to do anything, we should just send everything right now. Then over here, nobody's really going after this Jamie John, so he's just going to kind of sit there. So we have 2 offensive linemen we got to go back for and look at. Oh yeah, forgot about him. The number 3 end in the nation, Daniel Hearns. He's very interested in us. We are killing it over Nebraska right now. Sending the house. He's interested in pro potential. We know he has a playing time deal breaker, so we know playing time is also going to be one of his stats in there that he cares a lot about. So we'll be able to start selling him pretty good, but I really, really like his stats. He looks like a very balanced player in general, so I'm excited to see how he performs if we're able to kind of finish locking him out. So yeah, he's going to be one that we're going to have to continue to go hard for. Got locked out of Joey Pascal, so we're going to just remove him from the board. Milo, we have another Milo. Wow. This one's Fox. He's playing time interest, 4-star. Did I scout him? I did scout him. 79 speed. He looks good too. I mean, he looks solid too. We just don't have enough points to go after all these guys. Clavon Angel, the D tackle, did eliminate us from his contention, so we are going to remove him also. Then we have this 6'6" run stopping D tackle. Wow, this guy looks huge. But they have a lot of big schools going after him right now. So that probably is going to make it real tough, if not impossible, to be able to go after that guy. So I'm probably just going to say he's most likely going to be removed from the board. I'll let it go until it gets to the top 8 since I don't even have another person in there at this point. This one, I feel like he's one that we're going to have to let go. And it sucks to kind of say that, but we're not gaining as much as anyone else is. I feel like I'd really like to continue to go after him, though, with his 89 speed. Playing time is a deal breaker. I wonder if we have one shot here at something. We can schedule a visit, technically. Schedule a visit on him at this exact moment. I would say not send the house. We're going to have to instead do a pitch. And since playing time is his interest and we're A+, we're going to do playing time. I feel like our best bet is do the time to get to work because if he's also interested in playing style, that would be huge for us. That would be our 3 best interests. I know I'm not going to get any points for the proximity to home because he doesn't care about that, but it's not necessarily going to knock us considering that we might have 2 nice gains otherwise. So I think we're going to hard sell that. It looks like we should get +4 ticks, which is going to be real nice. And I'm not going to schedule it quite yet, but I think our move is to schedule a visit and see if that does it. We'll see if we can maybe schedule it against the Pandas in week 5, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. We'll come back to that. But he'd be an amazing, amazing addition to our team. I don't really want to give up on him yet. Looking at middle linebackers, kind of not really going after any of these guys. They're kind of all They could be good, could be bad. I just haven't really scouted them, haven't had the points for it. Again, we already talked about Tyler Longo. Probably just going to continue to give him that +10, and we'll just kind of inch along for a little bit. Tyler Barbosa, would like to be able to put a little bit more points in him, but just don't have the ability to right now. Kevin Burt, had him pretty well recruited. Well, I guess scouted, but not worth giving any points to him at this moment. So I think our end-all goal here is, I guess, it's more of an offensive line overhaul at this point, since I think those are the people that we're most likely able to get. So I'm going to continue to just send the house on Stephen Britt for quarterback situation. He is our quarterback of the future. Hopefully, that is the guy we ideally want to be going for. And I think we're just going to have to kind of let it roll with the send the house until we get a little bit more known about him, and hopefully he enjoys. I mean, proximity to home looks like it's a deal breaker, so that's got to be his last motivation, sounds like. So we should pretty much know it at this point, which is good. So the question is, do I take off some points from Trevor Thomas? I feel like the answer is yes, even though it kind of pains me to do that. I feel like it's not worth scheduling a visit or doing any sort of hard or soft sell when I don't know what interests him. He doesn't have a deal breaker. I have no idea what he likes, and I'm not really that talented in anything that he even could like. And I feel like we have a decent shot of winning Stephen Britt as long as we don't mess up our visit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to at least remove the action here to get some of our points back, because we should be in their top 3 even regardless if we need to come back later, but it's pretty much almost cementing that we're not going to be going after him. I'm very interested in the running backs, but I think that at this point it's probably too much to ask to be able to jump back in one of those 4 stars. We might be able to add one of these 3 stars in later and find a way to still get them. Kind of the same with these wide receivers here. I feel like it's a little, we would have had to focus on them a little bit harder at the beginning of the year to be able to do that. Definitely am interested in this tight end though. So even if we have a few points, I might be able to add on to him, but all right, so back to the main guys. We don't have the ability to sell yet until we get to the top 5, so we're just going to continue to send the house on him. We're going to do the same thing over here, send the house on TJ Moses and Picasso, see if we can get both of them kind of locked up here pretty soon. Left tackle, I think we might try to jump on. I think the move might actually just be scouting. I think I'm actually going to scout both of them and see who's worth it to go for. Immediately second level with 90 strength. I mean, he's a gem. Huge, huge, huge. Wow. All right, so it's probably going to be DeMarco, to be honest. Yeah, because we already scouted him, and he is not a gem, though he has 90-some strength. So with him being actually a 5-star talent, we are going to send the house. So we're sending the house on him. There's only really one person going after him right now, which is Florida State. But proximity to home is his deal breaker, and we are closer. I think we should be closer to them. We're in the state of Georgia, so we should be closer than Florida is to be able to get him, even though they do have a pipeline. So it might be a little bit late, but we're going to run for it. And then I think we'll just DM on the tight end a little bit. Get him a little bit of points since nobody's really gaining very much on this tight end. And we already offered him a scholarship, so we'll go for that. I guess if I actually second guess it, let's not put that on him. We should actually go after fully this left outside linebacker so we don't fall behind on him. So we should also DM him, get the full 50 on him. We end up DMing him and doing our pitch results for that. I think all of that with selling together should be considerably better on him. But we'll know immediately. I mean, if we aren't gaining more than Notre Dame, then I'm just going to immediately remove him from the board. But that is the class for week 2. We'll be picking up next time playing the game against the Ragin' Cajuns, so stay tuned for that one as it's going to be a heated matchup. I'll see you guys in the next one.